Couldn't hear me. God damn, you couldn't hear me. Alright, now you can hear me. How we all doing? Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, I transplanted two of the small little diddles. Yes, I probably could have let them go for another week or two and get a nice solid root system inside the little red cup, or, well, didn't use a red cup, but similar. But they were solid in the soil, so I just tipped it over, took it out in one solid chunk. You know what I mean? Rather than pulling the plant out, just tip all the soil over into your hand, dig you a hole out in the center, and set that down right in the center of the pot. And then cover it up with dirt and let it find its own way into the mixture. But I have perlite, I have the Rejuvenate organic soil. Let me show you the soil that I picked up from Walmart. They didn't have the shit that I wanted. There was some stuff last time that was specifically three things. One of those things was cocoa coir. And naturally, since everybody's growing cannabis right now, they don't fucking have it up there. So I went with the next best thing. The one soil that I have here, the Rejuvenate shit, has cocoa coir in it, just not a main ingredient. Anyways, so this is what I picked up. Let's see here. Flippy, flippy, floppy, flu. Alright, so there's Rejuvenate potting soil, and for all of the people who are like, get Coast of Maine and get her. Yeah, okay, well, let me flip this back around for 1 second here. The reason I don't use Coast of Maine and Fox Farm, well, no reason really, but I have my own secret, if you will. I grow houseplants other than cannabis. I've grown houseplants for a long ass time. So the secret ingredient that I use in my houseplants is the same thing that I use in my other plants. And I'm not absolutely positive, but I have a inkling of a hunch as to what exactly makes Fox Farm and Coast of Maine, specifically Coast of Maine, such unique potting soil. I'll keep that to myself, and you can call bullshit if you like. All right, now, getting back to this. Rejuvenate. All right, that is, has worm castings. That's the other fucking thing. They didn't have worm castings. Last time I was in there, I had big-ass bag of worm castings. Everything I needed was right there. Cocoa coir. So I got the shit with worm castings in it. It's also got added bio-nutrients, stimulants, whatever. Peat, which people will argue about back and forth, whatever. And water-holding crystals, which I'm guessing they just mean fucking perlite. I don't know why they say water-saving crystals. And then this has kelp and alfalfa meal, which I know I've heard numerous connoisseurs talk about alfalfa and kelp meal for their plants. And it's just good organic soil all around. So I got that mixed with the Rejuvenate at like a 1-to-1, and then the soil that I had growing my other plants in, which already has fucking bone meal and blood meal, and is at like a 6.9, 6.8 pH level. So I use like 2 parts of that, 1 part of that, 1 part of that, and then chicken shit, bone meal, blood meal, and yeah, that's how I started out the soil for the plants. And am I missing anything? Oh yeah, and the feeding, well, luckily this time I'm dealing with photos, so I don't have to worry about overdoing. I get really overzealous with feeding. Like, I like playing with the plants. I like being hands-on and messing with my plants. But that leads sometimes to me being a little bit too overzealous and overfeeding, going too far on the nutrients. But with photo, it won't be as big of a deal. They're not as sensitive as a fucking autoflower. People say autos are real good for people, for beginner growers, but as sensitive as they are, I mean, maybe like initially auto flowers were better for beginner growers, but as advanced as autoflower genetics have become, and as finicky as they are, I don't know that they really are the best bet for a beginning grower. Myself being one, and having harvested 2 photos and killed my 1 auto. Just my opinion. So this is the one of the ones I transplanted. It's in like a 2.5, 3 gallon pot, something like that, sitting inside of a some kind of tin. I don't know, some kind of fucking bucket like thing that I have it sitting in to keep it so it can actually drain. And that one, what the fuck is that one? That's G13 BSE. And then over here is the Afghani, which came up a little bit finicky looking, but it'll be all right. It's doing well. The center leaves are coming out just fine. That is the Mag Landrace, and it is in the big pot. I don't know, 5 gallon. That's not a 5 gallon. It's like a 3 gallon. So that's probably like 1.5 gallon. That's like 3 gallon. Yeah. And back there is my, what are you back there? That's Afghani. That is Mag Landrace. That is, no, Afghani, G13, Mag Landrace. That is ESM, Empire Strikes Mac. Love. I've noticed something with my seedling. I know later in growth that seeding purple on your stem is something you don't want to see. However, I was wondering. I've had a few seedlings pop that have purple stem, and a few seedlings pop that don't. That have a nice sort of like white, off-white color stem, slightly greenish maybe. And I'm wondering, like, does that indicate something about the pH? Like maybe the pH is too high, or because typically you want your pH to be lower at the beginning, 5.1, 5.2. I've heard people say most people start around 6, and then raise it as you near harvest to around 7.3, 7.4, something like that. But I'm just wondering if like the purple stem color on the seedlings, if that's indicative of like some sort of stressing of the plant due to the soil, or maybe due to excessive water. I don't know. It's just something I noticed. I don't know if it's just a natural how the plants express, or if I'm seeing something there. All right, so I picked up some herb this evening, something new that I haven't tried yet. God, that's a weird ass measurement. 0.125 ounces, aka an eighth. That's just such a weird measurement. 3.5 grams, 0.125 ounces. Odd, odd. That's all I'll say about that. Rolling tray. I've got me 3 real nice rolling trays here. Got this one my cousin got me from Virginia Beach. Then I've got my crush-proof glass rolling tray, which has come in handy often, believe it or not. I mean, I've dropped several fucking heavy pieces of glass and marbles, and for some reason at one point a piece of steel onto it, and it is still in one piece, surprisingly. So let's go ahead and use that. I'm going to use I'll wipe all the goddamn cat hair off of it first. Holy shit, cats. I could roll a joint on here and 4 hours later come back and it would just be fucking covered in cat hair. Alrighty then. Where's my jar? Jar! Well, I guess I don't have my jar in here. Put my weed away. That's okay. I'll get it afterwards. No, I have too much OCD. I need my jar. Oh, I gotta plug you in. Otherwise, we're gonna end up having to restart everything over. I'll be right back. I have to get my jar. I have too much OCD. All right, well, never mind that. My jar's over at my girlfriend's house on top of the refrigerator. And I'm not running across the parking lot right now. My OCD's not that goddamn bad. I'm not. Who was that, Nicolas Cage or was it Adam Sandler? Can't remember who it was. I think it was Nick Cage who did the OCD movie a while back. A long while back. I think Nick Cage is probably one of my favorite actors, honestly. Not in the fact that he's like, that I really enjoy his acting style or anything. Just think he's been in a plethora of movie titles and he's got a very wide acting range. Like Con Air, that's like a fucking epic movie with Nick Cage in it. It's a good fucking movie, Con Air. If you've never seen it, older movie that doesn't seem like an older movie. It's like kind of geared into the 2000s. It's a good fucking movie. Con Air. Face Off. That's a good one with Nick Cage. Then he's in like other ones, like family movies and like kids movies and shit like that. I don't know. I think he's just got a really wide acting ability. Then again, you have people like fucking Johnny Depp, but everybody, Johnny Depp, it's like a real popular actor. I'm different. I don't know why I said glitchy this evening. I apologize. All right, so we have some apple bomb. I think is what this shit's called. Apple, yeah, apple bomb. So I'm going to go digging through the genetics because last time the Melonade was a roll one strain when I sussed out the similarity in genetic profiles. So I'm going to go down through and see if there's any relationship between, for example, Apple Bomb and the strain that I just recently reviewed on my locals from Kings and Queens, Apple Earth. Apple Earth is Earth OG or OG Earth crossed with Apple Kush. I'm not sure what Apple Bomb is, but I think it's interesting given the fact that I've recently been discussing the similarities in genetics. Another example being the layer cake that we just finished off and the animal mint cake RSO. Two different companies, both utilizing wedding cake at the same exact time. Now, granted, wedding cake is a very popular genetic. That's one that you kind of can't really look at and be like, aha! But it's still exemplary of the pattern. What pattern? The pattern that is, in my opinion, indicative of the industry working together in ways that apparently they think they should not be. Allegedly, in my opinion. Any lawyers out there? Did I cover myself legally good enough there? Oh boy, oh me, oh my. I'm gonna try this apple bun for the first time and see how it goes. We're gonna smoke it up. So this is a 22.52. I think I actually got that right, 22.52%. I'm surprised if I got that right, because that wasn't even in my head. I didn't even see it. I just guessed. No. 27.12 total cannabinoid and THC 0.43%. What does that tell us? Lower THC level, even though this is flower, 0.43% is relatively low for a THC level. THCA 25.73. CBGA slightly depleted. Yeah, very, very slightly depleted, because remember, we're dealing with flowers, so the indica expression of CBGA in a flower is approximately 0.9%. So 0.66% is slightly depleted, and then CBG at 0.30% is what you would expect in an indica dominant hybrid. Remember, standardized profile setup. CBG 0.9, CBGA 0.9, CBG 0.3. If that 0.3 maintains, it's a note towards the indica stability of that strain. However, you have a slight depletion of the CBGA. Now, and that being said, the depletion of CBGA, I have not put my finger on yet. In the same way, like that I have increased CBGA with a decreased CBG is indicative of sativa characteristic expressing itself on the profile. I have yet to put my finger exactly pinpointed what the lessened CBGA, especially with this stable CBG level, is indicative of. But this strain may indeed help me figure that out. Let's see, we have alpha pinene at 0.04%, beta pinene 0.05%. So 55, 50 indica dominant hybrid according to alpha pinene lean ratio formula. Let's just recap real quick. Alpha pinene lean is alpha pinene plus beta pinene, each taken in a ratio against the sum of their total. That's redundant. Against their sum. So alpha pinene plus beta pinene, each taken in a ratio against the sum, is approximately equivalent to sativa to indica hybridization lean, where alpha pinene is characteristic of sativa and beta pinene is characteristic of indica. It's a mouthful, but the end of that there, sativa, alpha, indica, beta, that's just sort of intuitive within the groundwork, if you will, of terpological protocol. Because alpha pinene has a sharper, more characteristic of sativa aromatic profile, whereas beta pinene tends to be earthier, base, more characteristic of indica than sativa. So 55-50 indica lean, beta myrcene at 0.25%, alpha humulene 0.06, fenchol 0.05, linalool at 0.27, terpinolene 0.02, beta caryophyllene 0.16%. So we know beta caryophylene's there. That's good, relaxing. Beta myrcene is a decent amount higher than beta caryophyllene, so it's going to have a reasonable psychoactivity. It's going to have a nice high to it. And limonene is your dominant terpene. And there you go again, roll one with their fucking beta UD-smol. I swear to God, like they're the only company in Maryland that regularly pushes beta UD-smol in their profiles at levels that's not seen in other strains. 0.12% beta UD-smol. And there's a slight lessening to the alpha humulene as well as the beta caryophyllene. So it's 5550 indica lean would make sense here because you have a significant amount of sativa expression via diminishment of indica characteristic on the profile. So diminishment of the presence of humulene down to 0.06%. Yeah. Linalool's still there. However, if any terpene that is characteristic of indica is somewhat relative to sativa, of the terpenes that are characteristic of indica, the terpene that would be most closely relative to sativa would be linalool. It is the more floral, it's an earthy floral, but that floral aspect of it would give it like a little thread connected to sativa in a way. And that is terpological understanding. Let's try it, shall we? Add a little pinch of water here. Yes, I said a pinch of water because that is how I measure my water, through pinches. Pinch of water indeed. I haven't tried this yet, so I have no idea how harsh it is, smooth it is, no clue. Cheers. Apple bomb. Oh yeah. Oh boy. That is much stronger than I expected. Oh boy. It's definitely got the itchy throat type deal. Can already sense that. But my God, that's strong. I'm not even kidding. That's only, what is that, 22%? And I would venture to call that a one hit. 25%, 27 to, okay, so that makes a little more sense. Yeah. This stuff is a one hit. It's a one hit or quitter if you're a novice smoker, put it that, yeah. That's very strong shit. God damn. Wow. I did not expect that. Cannabis for flower. Holy shit. That's some strong weed, man. And it doesn't even really look that appealing. I mean, you try to sell this on the street and people are going to be like, oh, that's indica. That doesn't have no skunky smell. It's not bright enough. It can get. And that, my friends, is what I'm talking about when I refer to the fact that the U.S. cannabis market is very heavily influenced by sativa characteristic. While people like to argue with me about that and like really passionately argue with me about that, you can't deny that if you try to take a bud that looks like this and sell it, I guarantee you half of the Gen Zers out there have already said that this is, oh, it's mids, it's swag,
That's some fucking MIDI shit. That's some regular shit. And
it's gotten to the point that cannabis has gotten so exotic and crystal covered and beautiful looking that just good weed, just good ass cannabis that doesn't have a super beautiful presentation, which more often than not is cannabis with indica lean to it. Indica expression, especially physically and aromatically. Now, that's not to say that the sativa fluff was exactly desired on the market, which is why we have hybridization. We wanted the density of the indica, the nice, solid, more dense buds, which comes from indica characteristic, but you also wanted the psychoactivity, the fucking immediate punch, because illicitly, it's changed now slightly, but at least on the illicit market, the goal was to maximize psychoactivity in order to maximize each bag of weed, right? So if you could smoke a half a bowlful and get just as high as somebody who made you smoke 2 bowlfuls, you could sell less weed for more money, right? So that's the whole point there. And again, it's a very important note, and that's why I talk about it all the time, is the beta-myrcene aspect that directly ties in there, because when you have a market that is hybridized, it's seeking hybridization, it's seeking to draw the positive aspects of both kinds of cannabis, right? And you know that beta-myrcene is present in cannabis approximately 50% of the time as the dominant terpene, and that when it is present at higher levels, it causes psychoactive CB1 receptor activity. As well, you have the psychoactive enhancement of the recreational market, the illicit market. You put all these things together, and yeah, back to what I was saying about people being like, ugly weed, brown weed, because it has an indica appearance, but it's still really good fucking weed. And a lot of indica hybrids today are such that, like, they have a really powerful psychoactive experience. It's not just a sedating relaxation. Like, they're so hybridized and mixed in. That's why I have honestly such trouble finding indicas that I really like, because I don't prefer that super cranked up psychoactive experience. Like, I like a more calm, clear headed, like, for example, I enjoy South American sativas, like the happy, energetic type high. But I don't enjoy the jittery, fucking paranoia provoking, anxious. I don't like those. Like, it gets my blood pressure up, and I know it gets my blood pressure up because it gives me nosebleeds. So I have my nose has a thin fucking wall. Actually, it was from me using my finger. I was picking my nose one time. I swear to God, this is what happened. And I had I wasn't picking my nose. I had a real bad scab inside my nose, and I was trying to get it off. It was like the whole lining of my inside of my nose when I was an addict, okay? But I had a fingernail, and my fingernail, and I swear to God, I sliced an artery inside my nostril or something. So if I get a slight blood pressure increase, or I get dizzy, stand up too fast, or take a hit of sativa cannabis, a multitude of things. Or if I'm in too dry of an environment, I'll get a fucking nosebleed. I think they need to go up in there and cauterize it. I'm almost positive that's what it is, because I remember doing it. Like, I remember my nail, and I heard it go into the cartilage, and and I was like, oh yeah, I think I just ripped my fucking nose. But I never did anything about it. That's really good weed. I highly, highly, highly recommend that cannabis. It's from Trulieve. I don't know who else grows it. I don't know if it's just their shit. I know they have at least one strain that's theirs here in Maryland. I'll probably review it. Apple bottom. I wanted to review the layer cake too, but I already smoked the shit up. Have to get around to doing this one a little quicker. Not much terps in it though. 1.68% terpene profile. It's just not horrible. It's just on today's market, again, people expect like 2%, 2.5%, 3%. I don't know. I think I have a slightly different perception, kind of what heady versus, and I don't mean sativa heady, I just mean like high test, like expensive weed versus middies. Because like I remember cannabis that was like, it was good weed, it was smokable cannabis, and it got you high, but it certainly wasn't I don't know, just real middies, like stuff that costs 30, 60 and 8, 35, 70 and 8 on the illicit market. And I see people all the time now, like I can really see people trying to say that I mean, that's what I paid for, it was 35. So the dispensary had it on sale for 35. And dispensary prices are very close to street prices. But I mean, it's good weed. I think it's $50 weed, $20 a gram, whatever you want to call it. You want to say hi, Choppy? You want to say hi? Come here. Come here. Come say hi. Daddy gonna take a dab. Come here. You want to say hi? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. You big lazy bones. Come here. Come here, you big boy. Oh. 90 pounds of muscle. 90 pounds of muscle. My neighbor said, how much does he weigh? And Sequoia. My neighbor asked me how much he weighed. My neighbor has a dog. And her dog is the same size as him, but she has a bunch of fur. And he weighs 40 some odd pounds. He's a big fucking fat fuck. That was my neighbor. I swear, man, I can sit around and do nothing all day long, and not a soul would bother me. And I gotta speak to my neighbor anyway, but come on to do this. That's okay. They're like the only freaking people I talk to around here. Is the neighbor that just called me. My other neighbor takes a ride with me to the doctor once in a while, but I don't speak to many people. People are, I don't like people. Yeah, hang on a second. Let me message her. Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah, hang on. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Chillax, buddy. Alright, I am back on here now. Alice people in the world. Oh, well, my stick is about out of oil. That's confirmed. I don't even think I want to hit that. Gonna have to get some more oil in that. Come with me. Come with me. Oh, monkey. Oh, Choppy. What was that? Big old coughing snarl. Big old coughing snarl. Oh, boy. I really like this tank. It's badass. The lid unscrews super easy. Like you can unscrew the lid with the mouthpiece. Which most tanks, for comparison, are much harder to open. Like, see how the mouthpiece came off? You actually have to apply more pressure. But it still seals up very, very nicely. Here it's got two fill spouts on it. It's the tank that came with the Vupu M100S. Vupu M100S. And you know how you always, check it out, how you always end up getting an air bubble when you're filling a big tank like this? Like, and then it runs out the side, like that right there. Well, this one has two fill spouts. So you just move the air bubble to the other fill spout and fill that one. You don't have to worry about it running out the side like that. I'll let it run out the side so I can show you. Like for real, not for play. But a good thing about that other one that I have, this is a Sakers maker. And dude used to run Vape Works, hooked me up with it. I got hooked up with a lot of shit from Vape Works over there in Crescent County. They're really cool. The guy that used to run it and the chick that runs it now, and the owner, they're all really cool. But anyway, it's a Sakers maker tank. Sakers Master. Yeah, Sakers Master tank, not maker. Not Sakers maker, Sakers Master. And it's the same setup as this one with the PNP coil, but it's got a much bigger coil. So it's got like your regular size sub-M coils, the larger ones for like the Mesh Pro, that size coil. And you can empty it. There's a hole here on the top of this one. You can't see it, it's all black. But there's a hole, and squeeze the bottom. You have air in it, or you squeeze the air out of it. Stick it in that hole, tip it upside down, and it'll suck all the oil out without spilling anything. Quite a nice little feature. And I like the pop-in coils on the Sakers Master and the this Vupu that I have. I was gonna get the Vupu Drag 4, but I've had the Vupu Drag 2 and the Vupu Drag 3, and the 2 busted way too easy, and the 3 it was okay. It lasted, but I don't know, just wasn't an amazing stick. And I have another Geek Vape stick out there. I just have to get the tools to take it apart, the fucking Allen wrenches, because they don't give you those to you anymore, because they don't fucking use the Allen wrenches anymore on the sticks. Like, there's no Allen wrench spots on this at all. They used to give you the Allen keys, and I lost all of my Allen keys, so I have to find one so that I can take my Geek Vape apart and solder the wire back together, because I fucked up my other Geek Vape stick because I didn't get it all the way apart. I tried soldering the wire and then lost a whole bunch of wire. So now I can't actually solder it unless I replace that wire, which I can do. But then my indestructible Geek Vape, the one that was supposedly supposed to be indestructible, fell off the roof of my car one time. And granted, it busted the tank. I didn't give a fuck about that. But it doesn't work. Like, it works sometimes when you put two batteries in it. And sometimes it'll just go off and fucking fire randomly nonstop for like 30 seconds. You have to like literally pop the battery back out of it. Yeah, it's finicky as fuck. It works in a pinch if you don't have anything else to get you a couple drags of nicotine. It sucks too because it's a nice stick. Like you can actually change the ohms, like 0.19 ohms up or down. So a lot of times your fucking coil doesn't register. It tries to register with smart mode, which is how burnt the coil is and shit like that. If you want maximum flavor out of it, you get as close to the actual ohms as what's on the coil. That's what I've learned. So if it's 0.15, you want 0.150, not 0.157. So with that stick, you can actually take it from like 0.164 to 150. It gives you a wide range to change up and down. But luckily, this one so far registers all the coils exactly spot on. And the one that didn't, I just unscrewed it and screwed it back in slightly more slowly. So it registered at a different spot and it read properly just fine. Yeah, I know. I'm randomly talking about fucking vape sticks on here. Whatever. This oil is fucking delicious. I way prefer 6 milligram in a sub ohm to like 40 milligram in a Nick salt any day. Tastes like I'm eating cookies. It's delicious in my lungs and my mouth. Speaking of delicious for my lungs, let's have some more dabs. I don't know what kind I want to smoke. Let's try some of these. Black Lime Reserve. Mm. Oh boy, I'm gonna have a dab. I'm gonna smoke a big fat dab. I'm gonna have a dab and it do. Oh boy, I got this banger out. I haven't even taken my RSO yet. I'm freaking blitzity blickerblazed. Blitzity blickerblazed. Blitzity blickerblazed. That's some good fucking weed, man. That is. That's some primo cannabis. Is what that is. Gotta hand it to the guys at Truly. Oh, I had no problem with Truly. Like, my issue, Truly, is they were fucking dumb. I mean, when they fired me, setting up, felt, yeah, I felt very cornered whenever all that silly stuff happened with that company. Oh man, who would not have? But anyway, I don't want to talk about that. Where the fuck did all my underwear went to? See what happens when I get too stoned, walk away, then come back. I can't figure anything out. Well, now we're on. This thing needs to get the fuck out of my way. I never use it. It is useless right now. I'm sure at some point it will come in. I never throw away any of my glass when it's broken. And fucking pearls or quartz or any of my broken bangers or anything like that, because I knew 15, 20, 25 years ago, I would have fucking given my left arm or leg for a broken piece of fucking good glass, like regular head shop glass, even a broken piece, just with like a good percolator in it, even if it had like fucked up arms and had to fix them with tubes and all kinds of shit. Yeah, I like fixing bones. I am a bone fixing master. Although my fucking one bong broke, and I have no idea how the percolator broke in it. The percolator floats like right in the middle of the goddamn thing, and somehow the percolator broke, flat like clean off. It fucking I don't even feel like showing it right now. It is just weird. And I can't say that. I'm not sure if that's fucked up. How can I do that? Look how this thing broke. It's so fucked up. Okay. See the percolator where it goes down in, right? Loops down in, all good and well, and then crack. It's down there. Tell me how the fuck that happens. It still works. I mean, you get backwash now if you don't stop hitting it soon enough, but it still works. I just have no idea what caused that. I guess I could feed some tube down in there and extend that out a little further, and that would stop a lot of the splashback issue. I probably will eventually do that. Get a tube and feed it down through there. So it comes out further, or push it down further into the corner there. There's no way to get that fucking piece out. That's for sure. Not without breaking it. Black Lime Reserve. I've never had this shit before. This is also from Sunmed. They've had some baller jars on the deck lately at Allegheny. So, baller jars are your thing. Check out Allegheny at the moment. Actually, decent price too. Fucking later. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I got sidetracked. Oh boy. How the hell did my breath just blow out that torch? You hear that hit the floor? You hear that click that hits the floor just now? That clunk just hit the floor? Yeah. If you listen, every single time I light my fucking torch, light my banger, I drop my lighter that I have to use to torch my torch. Every single time. Never fails. Every time it hits the floor. Might like 1 out of 50, it might not. Get this torch sniper nice and hot. Get it up to temp. get a nice cool down. Taste some of this Black Lime Reserve. Apothecarium has a decent fucking menu right now, too. So I didn't really check for West menu, so I can't speak to theirs, but I know the Apothecarium, they had a good bit of shit on there. And some new, different shit. Like that Fruity Gum Hazy Kush, Black Lime Reserve. There was Afghani Shatter. I love Afghani. That's always the fucking go-to. Even Shatter. Like, that's one I will buy Shatter of, is Afghani. Just because of the strength. I just got so worn out on Shatter from the recreational market from shit being shipped in from Cali, Colorado, wherever it may have come from. It's good. It's got like a happy, kind of like uplifting calm to it. It's got that sort of shut you up for a second, but it's like a calm, but it's happy. Like, dang, look at that profile. Oh, no, profile of it. That was like a perfect fucking tip dab too. Melted perfectly right up into the barrel. Yeah, I like that stuff. I like the Black Lime Reserve. It's got that shut you the fuck up thing, but it's like not so much shut the fuck up that you can't stop. Like sometimes it makes it so bad that like you can't even start talking for a minute. You just kind of space the fuck out. That's why I said it's kind of got like a little bit of a little bit more lift. Maybe that's the psychoactive part of it. Oh, let's look at the profile on that real quick. That's the bag. God damn, it's got me stoned as a motherfucker. It was over 11% terps. Let me check the, let's look at this box real quick. I know it's 11% terps. Black Lime Reserve. Some good fucking shit. It's got me real stony-eyed. Stony-eyed. It'll take me some RSO here in just a second, too. Nice. that right now. Fuck, just a second. Alright. Medicate my mind. Tomorrow, Apothecary, 30% off concentrates. No, not affiliated in any way, just shout them out because I'm nice like that. So 30% off concentrates if you have your medicinal shit. If not, it's definitely worth getting your medicinal card in Maryland because industry controls concentrates, RSO, tabs. So if you want to buy those, medicinal card. If you don't want to pay taxes, medicinal card, and you get a discount, medicinal card. So, yeah, but 30% off concentrates and then 40% off Kind Tree, Legend, and Gauge. Don't quote me on those, but I'm almost positive. I'm 95% certain that I am correct on that statement because one of the underling manager people told me. He was my cashier this evening. Pretty sure he's like some type of manager at this point, shift manager or something. He should be. He's been there fucking for a while now. And he actually knows what he's talking about. Some of the people in there, they're just in there for a job. Some people are in there because it's a cool job to have. And some people in there because they're actually passionate about cannabis. And some people are there just to work a fucking job. But in my opinion, the bud tender spot in particular, if anything, they should separate point of sales at the cashier from bud tending, helping the individual, assisting in locating the appropriate product for their ailment. Not just strain, but be that cannabis flower or concentrate or distillate or tincture or topical or what the fuck ever it might be that they need. That's some animal make cake RSO. This and that maroon baboon together, I bet you they would make some real nice fucking flavorful cookies or some shit. Because the maroon baboon has like a berry flavor to the RSO. And that animal mint cake really does have like a sweet, kind of crummy cake flavor to the RSO. Oh, let's see here. So the Black Lime Reserve. Very complex cannabinoid profile. Speaking to sativa. But in that complexity, which way does it sway? So you have 67.06% THCA. That automatically is a significantly low THCA level for live resin overall, generally speaking, which is indicative of indica. THC 7.32%. That's definitely characteristic of sativa. Very high THC content like that. THCVA, tetrahydrocannabidiol. I like saying that one. Tetrahydrocannabidiolic acid, 1.36%. CBGA, 1%. All right, so slightly depleted. THCV, 0.46%. CBCA, 0.41%. CBG, 0.13%. Depleted, speaks to sativa. CBNA, 0.12%, which is, I learned recently, CBN. So what is CBNA then?
Because CBN is oxidized tetrahydrocannabinolic acid. So then what would then CBNA? Is that what is derived from THCA and then that leads to CBN? I'm unsure of that. Yeah, anyway, there's a lot that speaks to the sativa in that a significant amount. The heightened THC VA, the lowered diminished level of CBGA, diminished level of CBG from your typical 1.5 and point. Shit. I just had my brain went stupid. 1.5% and what the hell is CBG typically? 0.9, 0.7%, 0.9%. I can't remember. I'm having a brain fart. The number's escaping me. The number that I always say all the time. But they're both diminished, which is speaking to sativa impact on the indica characteristic. So diminishment of the indica characteristic. Campine, which is extremely fucking weird to have as a primary terpene, 5.68%, and that's an extremely high fucking level too. Osamine, also very fucking odd to see at a primary level, 2.29%, which you can tell, all right, I did not look at this profile, all right, but I always talk about uplifting nature of South American sativas, how I prefer those over Asiatic sativas. I also always talk about how osamine is characteristic of South American sativas, and osamine is related to that uplifting experience synergistically in the inner workings of cannabis. And interestingly, osamine is in here as a dominant primary terpene at 2.29% under the primary campine at 5.68%. Underneath that is geraniol at 1.64%. There's some really weird fucking terpenes to have. Anyway, transcaryophyllene, 0.62%. Beta myrcene, there's our regular terpenes, 0.47%. Here's a really weird one that I never see. Cedrol, 0.17%. Another one that hardly ever shows up, a precursor to menthol. P. What would P stand? Proxy? I don't know what P. P-isopropytoluene. Terpenoline, 0.13%. Isopropytoluene, 0.13%. Alpha pinene, 0.08%. Beta pinene, 0%. So that's speaking to a complete sativa lean. However, you have to remember that in simplistic and lack of complexity in the genetics, so in a simplified genetic profile, that often happens, but when it happens, it is expressing the opposite of what is actually. So this might indeed be an indica dominant. However, it's expressing a sativa dominant due to simplicity or related to the simplicity in the genetic profile, meaning the simplicity in genetic profile insofar as proximity to landrace genetics from this. And I don't know what the parent genetics are of Black Lime Reserve, but just venturing to say Although it's such a unique terpene profile, I would almost think that it would be a very complex genetic profile. I don't know though. It's an interesting one, that's for sure. You never see those, like Cedrol at 0.17%, Geraniol, you never see that. Osamine, you see that, but you never see it at 2.29%, and that's why I got that like uplifting. It's calm, but it's got that uplifting kind of note to it. It's also got me kind of talkative and focused. I'm very stoned and stony-eyed. It's got a nice beta myrcene to transcaryophyllene level, like it's balanced 0.47 myrcene, 0.67 or 0.62 transcaryophyllene. Savinine, it's the first time I've seen that one in a while too. Savinine. It's an interesting terpene. Savinine is, if I recall properly, also present in conifer trees. The only other place that it is present is in conifer trees. And has studies related to savinine. There's studies of savinine related to the third eye and opening the third eye, which is interesting to me because walking through conifer forests is one thing that occult practitioners and witches will recommend as a way to ground and center and awaken your senses and open your third eye, so to speak. Yeah, savinine. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. There's a lot of precursor to menthol in it too. Eucalyptal, the isopropyl 11.34% terps. Yeah, I'm glad I picked that one up. It's an interesting one. And it's live resin sugar too, my bad. It's not live resin batter, it's live resin sugar. It's my bad. Look at that shit again. Yeah. Live resin sugar. And I got that Mexican flan and the Big Apple. And it's fruity gum hazy kush too. I've got cookies and sunmint here right now. Shit smells good. All right. Anyways. Oh, I gotta put my weight away too. Gotta get my jar. Put it in my jar here. Put it back in the bag. You don't know how to open the fucking weed bags. They're from the dispensary. Check it out. They're safety seal bags, okay? So when you go to open them, you rip them. Rippy, rippy, rip. And by the way, that's how my bath bombs are packaged. If you're wondering, a couple of them have the rip already taken off of it. So I had to re-glue them a couple times, a couple packages. But anyway, most of them have the little rippy thing, and they're sealed properly. So my bath bombs come like strawberry shortcake. These are the grapeberry cake. I think it's what they're called. Can't remember, but any of the empty space that's in there is filled in with loose salts and smaller bath bombs. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 6 bath bombs in a big pack like this. And they smell really, really fucking good, and they're all terpene infused, hemp-derived terpene infused. And there's different size packs. It's on my link tree, but yeah, they're all nice and sealed up and airtight and all that good stuff. Anyway, to open the bag, it's safety sealed. See, if you get it open it like that, you can't. You gotta take your finger. I can't even see. So miss. Yeah, it's childproof, all right. What the fuck, man? Why can't I even get it now? I'm like, here, let me show you how to open up the bag of weed. Not. Why can't I open that little lady here? Alright, it's all the way closed off. Anyway, I guess this one's just fucking weird. Usually it has a little fucking slit. You can like grab it and pull it back, and then you can actually pinch it and pull, and it'll open that part of the bag. But this one, you actually got to pick the fucking zipper open and pull it open like that. And I don't know why that one's like that. I do have to say, though, whoever trimmed this fucking apple bomb left a big old motherfucking sugar leaf in the middle of my one bud. I just wanted to say that. Like a big old sugar leaf. Like 0.2 or 0.3 grams worth of sugar leaf in an eighth. That matters to me, especially industrially. You don't tout it like they do. Anyway, it's still really good herb. Ain't go lie about that. Yes, I said ain't. I'm too late to deal with it. Oh, I'm so glad I got perlite and everything in there that I need in there. pH is good. I haven't checked the runoff yet, but I have a catch underneath 2 of them. I'll check the runoff on the big one here soon. Yeah. Can't wait to get the next big again. Stuff to take. Take it easy.